just about 5:05. And I'm going to look online a little bit. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about some stuff, just you and I, until some people show up, and then, we'll see where the conversation takes us. So, interesting quote came up on Facebook this morning after all the talk on religion we've been having. And not bad talks. Once we get past the it's my way or it's not true type of conversation, it's been really, I don't want to say productive, but insightful, maybe. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is back. Evening again, Eric. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? This is a quote just synchronistically popped up on Facebook. It's by Richard Rohr, who is a Jesuit priest. Writer I enjoy very much. He's a very, almost teaches Christianity from a non-dual perspective. And what he says is, Christianity is a lifestyle, a way of being in the world that is simple, non-violent, shared, and loving. However, we made it into an established religion, and all that goes with that, and avoided the lifestyle change itself. One could be warlike, greedy, racist, selfish, and vain in most of Christian history, and still believe that Jesus is one's personal Lord and Savior. The world has no time for such silliness anymore. The suffering on earth is too great. Squirrel Sniper says, good, just finished off the evening. Just started raining. Raining here as well. It has rained a lot in the month of May. Squirrel Sniper says that's a great statement, and no less than a priest saying it, which you don't hear often. Our friend Goldie is here. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. But I enjoyed this afternoon's conversation. It took a while to get there, though. We had to wade through some issues. Or as our friend UK Medic said, the wrench war. Who gets a wrench and who doesn't get a wrench? Who deserves one and who doesn't? Who's using theirs irresponsibly? Just a night watcher doing burpees in his bedroom. How are you, my friend? Noble is live. I know he was live earlier. I had him up and running. And came in and chatted for just a bit. UK Medic says, and mention my name and I appear. It's like magic. Goldie says, and I didn't mean to come in, but I played you on the TV and I was hearing you read, so I had to join. I appreciate that. I always like having you here. You guys are my favorite people. Squirrel Semper says, it actually stands out from everything I've delved into with the Jesuits order. You know, amazingly, Anthony de Mello, another Jesuit priest who was born in India, he's of East Indian descent, so he has a yogic and Hindu background, but he went to school in a Jesuit school and became a Jesuit priest, but he maintained his yogic way of thinking through Christianity. Amazingly, he wasn't really censored by Catholic authorities. He was very influential on me. him, Agnatha Warren, another great teacher who from India, but who was embraced the Christian tradition as well as his own um, yogic, Vedic tradition. UK Medic says, I only ever like a wrench because I'm blue. I know the reason, because gray is a bit insignificant. Yeah, blue's a good color. It stands out. Hey, Medic, do you want to go blue? I'm happy to help with that. Or membership is better because I can be a medic, agreeing with that. So you can do memberships at the 3,000 mark, right? Goldie says, I don't need a wrench. I am who I am with and without a wrench. And that is the wonder of Goldie. She's a presence. Presence I very, very much appreciate. Medic says, I'm not asking for a wrench, by the way. I know you're not, and I know you never would, but I would be happy to give you one. I like people who have, people like Goldie, people like Eric LaPointe, people like Squirrel Sniper who have a calm, people like Night Watcher, a calm demeanor. I know people I know that have my back if needed. I don't think I've ever needed anyone to have my back, but it's appreciated knowing that they might or that they will. Eric LaPointe says, hi there, UK Medic, Goldie, Squirrel Sniper, and Night Watcher. Hey, have you seen the cows from Eric LaPointe's channel? I'm going to keep talking about the cows, probably for the duration of my channel. Medic says, yes, 3K. So as of this morning, I am 16 hours away from 3K. No, I'm sorry, 116 hours away from 3K. And there's 5 days that haven't been counted yet. It's showing data as of May 9th. So I am nearing that 3K mark. And then I guess it's the process. Medic says, hey, Eric. No, but I'll take a look. Oh, he's saying, hey, Eric to Eric. Night Watcher says, Yogi, I drew you, but I couldn't make you buff. What do you mean you couldn't make me buff? As if I'm not buff already. I got 600 and some burpee workouts that you can go check out and, see that I actually work out. I couldn't make you buff because I tried, but it looked bad. I'm pretty happy with it. I will be looking at it. I got your channel up actually. Medic says no, but I will take a look. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Oh, UK Medic says he has a new auto video up. I will be on my way. Oh, I did see 2 mornings ago. I got a glimpse of my local beaver. We had beavers here 20 years ago, and other neighbors complained, and they moved them. They made their way back, and hopefully people are going to let us keep them. Medic says he's 254 watch hours away from 4K. All right, I'm on it, and I will have you up and running tomorrow. Let's see. I got you up right now, and it'll be playing for the duration of the chat until I go to bed, and then I'll have you up again tomorrow. I also have Yankee Kyle. I had some Ivy playing earlier. Cody says, Eric, I didn't see me before my morning coffee. Everything goes bum. Well, I don't count anything before morning coffee. Everyone gets a pass before the coffee. Medic says, then I can monetize my videos. Well, hopefully we're going to get you there really soon. Squirrel Semper says, ever looked into Gematria, the Jesuit order? Equal 2001, Ignatius of Loyola. 2001, the Pope lives in an apartment. 2001, in the Vatican. There's something about the 2001. Interesting. I talked about the number 108 the other day, and I talked about it today in my burpee video. Nightwatch just says haven't posted yet because it's 3 a.m. Look for it in the morning, in my morning. Squirrel Semper says, Medic, I was writing my last comment when you posted. Medic says, all inquiries regarding my channel should be referred to Goldie as she is my agent. Medic says, 3K gets you monetized for super chats and memberships. And scroll at 4K, you get monetize your videos. Yep, I'm shooting for the whole thing. Goldie says that she's honored, but strongly hate doing paperwork. You and me both. Surprisingly, as I was middle management in retail. Eric Point said there was a good documentary on putting beavers in the desert by an oasis. It's quite interesting. I bet they're amazing landscape designers. I wonder if otters are the same. I know they don't build the same dens, and I know they're not engineering engineers themselves in the same way. But of course, everything has some type of impact on the climate, good or bad. Mocha just got me a book on beavers, feeding my curiosity. Squirrel Stepper says that's an ad revenue, Medic. On each video you post. Medic says he's a paperless channel, the best kind. Goldie says she's happy he's going green. Nightwatcher says, I drew you from the side. Now I'm going to draw your side profile. Can you tilt your head 3/4 view? I'm not sure what 3/4 is. That's about as long as I can hold it. You would think as a yogi I could hold it for a long time. Medic says he's not the Incredible Hulk. Hey, I was just told I'm not buff after 45 years of working out. More like the Incredible Bulk. So I got UK up and running, but I need to go to his channel again to make sure that I check out the otter video. My video of the house sparrow with the feather has become my most watched video, second most watched video. Goldie says, if I can be a vampire, you can definitely be Hulk. I wonder if he's going to appear in another Marvel movie. Who was it? Mark Ruffalo? Is it Ruffalo? Squirrel Sniper says, have I told you that if you turn the Netherlands on its side in the shape of a beaver, beaver head, beavers make dams. The Netherlands have Amsterdam's and Rotterdam. You haven't mentioned that. That's pretty wild. Medic says, 6'3" and built like a rugby player. I fill a doorway. I'm 5'9"ish. I have been built so many different ways through my life. From bodybuilding, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, competitive kettlebell sport, and then ultra running. And now burpees in my basement. IFNHU is here. How are you? How are you feeling? And how's the pup? Medic says he's a gentle giant. That's a good thing. 6'3" is pretty big. Squirrel Sniper says, have you an atlas on that shelf? I don't. Another room over, but I'd have to dig through some papers. My dad was a map collector. Goldie says, not curious about new Marvel movies. They're not Marvels anymore. Disney dismantled the magic. I just wonder, though, because the last few movies haven't been doing well, that maybe Disney would re-examine. I don't know if Disney's that smart. I don't know if movie executives are that smart. Except when you stop making a profit. I guess they still make a profit, which is a problem. If you make a profit without fans, without true fans, then you don't really need the fans any longer. Medic says, I agree 100%, Goldie. Yeah, anytime you steer away from... I don't know if DC has ever made a really good movie. They make great animation, but not a great movie. Although, I only saw clips of Robert Pattinson as Batman on YouTube. Never saw the whole movie. Didn't think he did a bad job. I wouldn't mind him being a little bigger. But no one's ever caught the entire essence of Batman. Maybe Michael Caine came close. Man, he's a tiny guy. Goldie says, I wouldn't hold my breath on Disney changing gears. Man, when I was a kid, Disney was awesome. You know, Disney was magical. It's a shame. That's what Medic was just saying. Fantasia, Snow White were Disney classics. Old Yeller, watching Davy Crockett on Sunday night. I loved The Wonderful World of Disney. Never made it to Disneyland or Disney World. But yeah, watching the show, early Disney movies. Remember That Darn Cat and the Shaggy DA? But you know, the sign of the time isn't necessarily quality. It's profit. What can we do to make a profit? How do we cut expenses and make a profit at the same time? How can we ignore fans um, and still get enough people to fill the seats? Baby Emoji says, are the allegations true? Did you really do those horrid things? Absolutely not. I've never done a horrid thing in my entire life. Goldie says, I agree. Disney was awesome. Emphasis on the was. Yeah. How sad is that? Medic says, too much CGI and green screen in movies now. Stories are weak and rely on special effects. And you know, the shame is CGI can do some great things. You know, if you're making a great Incredible Hulk movie, which they haven't made yet, but if they did, you would want to use CGI, but it shouldn't be a replacement. Like UK Medic was suggesting, it shouldn't be a replacement for a good story. Eric Lapointe says, baby emoji, nope. Goldie says, baby emoji, what are you talking about? No one knows but baby emoji. Medic says, back in the day, as vampires, Goldie and I had to work hard. Now it's called CGI. Squirrel says, to me, Disney sold the moon landing for NASA space camp. But that's now when I'm younger. I dream of being a stuntman for Hollywood. When I was younger, I dreamed. It's a tough way to make a living. It does look fun though. Our friend Destiny is here. Destiny says, hello Eric, how are you? I'm good, Destiny, how are you? I've been thinking about you because I've been thinking and talking a lot about dancing. Two different modes of dancing. Lymphatic dancing for the lymph nodes, and somatic dancing, where we dance through the present emotion that we're experiencing or through past trauma, healing ourselves through trauma through our dancing. Now, what she says, Gordy, I think baby emoji is trying to make everyone confused. Desi says, blessings and Tuesday to happy one. And bad SGI too. Squirrel Sniper says, baby emo, you are baby, only 3 days on YouTube. Yeah, basically ignore people like that. Sometimes I take the opportunity to joke. Although Mocha has warned me not to really joke too much about some things because it's just not, it acts as encouragement sometimes. Medic says the only time I ever danced was when I stood barefoot on Lego bricks. That is probably similar to how I dance on a regular occasion. Eric Point says, what about dancing like no one is looking? That's the only way I can dance. And I insist that no one looks. Destiny says, Eric, are you a dance teacher? Are you also thinking about doing treadmill dancing as well? That sounds exciting. I'm not a dance teacher, although I've been looking at certification process for somatic therapy. I don't know if I want to go that far. I'd like to practice though. That the lymphatic, getting the lymph fluid, which can, have dangerous buildup and lead to all kinds of uh, lifestyle problems, that we can get it moving. Of course, you can do it rebounding, and you can do it through breath work, all of which is effective, but the lymphatic dancing is a lot of fun. And in my opinion, treadmill dancing is a sacred ritual performed by Dr. Destiny Forever Walks, PhD. And I am an admirer. I'm a watcher. IFNHU says, I'm good. Been building cabinets all day. Enjoy my new job. My old job was framing houses. That's big work. This is much more easier. The pup is still not allowed to do anything. They'll go out to go potty. Man, poor pup. I'm sorry about that. I need to check on your GoFundMe again. Post that up again on social media. Goldie says, Medic, all parents did that dance at some point. IFNHU says she is slowly looking better when walk and background now. Walking. Well, that's good. That's progress. UK Medic says, what I can do is sing. My voice changes early. I sing like Barry White, and at night I sing like Luther Vandross. I think I would prefer the Luther. Nothing against Barry White. Goldie wants to ask a question to Medic. So yeah, breath work, yoga, rebounding. I have long wanted a rebounder. Hey, Hulk is here. Hulk, I've been thinking about you. I haven't seen any posts for a while. I hope everything's okay. Goldie says, did you ever consider or even fasted? I mean, no eating at all, Medic? Medic says, me too. Trouble is, I'm too shy to sing in public. I did karaoke for a while. Milka loves karaoke, and I would go with her on occasion. And we had a karaoke machine at home, so I did my best to annoy her by singing all the time. So for some reason, I'm not getting updates from Hulk, so I just went and fixed that. If you guys haven't checked out Hulk 0076, definitely do so. This is the guy who puts in some serious work every single day. Hulk said he did some push-ups yesterday. I see, yep, 100 push-ups on Monday. I just went to your page to figure out why I wasn't getting any updates. So now that I fix it, I'm going to be back in touch. Medic says I do fast, Goldie, and do full purge. Goldie says, Medic, that was my reason for asking. Fox said he had a foot injury, had to relax with it. Okay, so actually I see that there was a bit of a gap. Glad to see you back. I'm glad to see that I fixed the issue that prevented me from seeing that. And Goldie drops a link. Thank you for that. Hulk is a very inspirational guy with a great message. Very kind. Nightwatcher says he just blocked out my side profile. Now I'm going to block out your 3/4 one. Hulk says, I was wondering why I haven't seen you as well. I have to check myself. Yeah, I've seen on other live stream and people talking that YouTube will, I guess, inadvertently just drop. Maybe it's an algorithm thing. I'm glad we're able to reconnect though. So Destiny, I thought that you might know a bit about lymphatic dancing. And of course, somatic therapy offers all kinds of different, they have somatic breathing, shaking therapy, all kinds of stuff to get blocked energy out of the body. Let me look that up real quick. Of course, any modality that heals has a deep interest for me. And the thing that we don't consider, well, the thing that Western medicine doesn't consider that often, I think they're getting better, is the body as an energy system. They treat the symptoms so often and not the overall health of the body. How often have people come home from a heart attack with a stent in the vein, in the artery, but no real recommendations on diet. Goldie says, Eric, I'm going to go to sleep. Listening in on the TV. I appreciate you being here, Goldie, and appreciate your continuing to listen. Squirrel Sniper says, greetings to Hawk. Destiny says, Eric, I taught only ballet and praise and worship dances. I'm not overly familiar with praise and worship dances. Ballet is absolutely beautiful. You know, all dancing is beautiful. I was thinking maybe health-wise, you might have read on the lymphatic. If I'm not mistaken, Destiny, you have a rebounder, right? The mini trampoline. Menet says, I do Reiki, and it's all about chakras and energy points. I did a Reiki class as well several years ago. I got several books in the back on Reiki. A great form of energy work. I actually wanted to learn it for my dogs who were suffering some health issues at the time. Goldie says, good night, lovely people. Good night, Goldie. Thank you again for being here. So here's a brief definition of somatic therapy. Somatic therapy, sometimes known as body psychotherapy, is a therapeutic approach that places importance on what we experience in the mind and the body, as well as the connection between the two. Somatic means of or relating to the body. Um, so it's a deeply energetic approach. Destiny says, my treadmill now is a foldable one by Famistar. Is that Famistar? Destiny, I don't know if I ever asked you how you came to be a treadmill dancer. I can guess that it was an inspired moment, as I think that's the case with all dancing. That it's just, you think about the origins of dancing, that for whatever reason, the energy in the body just built up to this crescendo of needing to be expressed. It's really one of the most joyful things that you can do. And I think that's why I was drawn towards starting to do the somatic dancing and the somatic dancing was just another way of expressing that energy, whatever it is. And the great thing is, you're not trying, if you're depressed and you take a somatic dance approach to the depression, you are not trying to dance your way out of depression. You're not trying to alter it. You're trying to allow it and have it speak through the body. What is the depression trying to tell you? How does it wish to be expressed? And through that, but you got to be detached from the outcome. Through the dance itself, the depression is, for lack of a better word, vocalized. It's allowed to express, and it changes completely on its own without, traditional type of therapy. Squirrel Samper says, UK Medit, have you come across the Fountain International? Yep, and as mentioned, you could also do the somatic breathing. That's the one I thought about doing the certification with. Mocha McCarty is here. Eric Point says, I love it when a dance tells a story or it is the image of work effort. Yeah, me too. That's why I love the shamanic dancing. And I always mention that, you know, my ancestors, my Celtic ancestors painting themselves blue and putting a deer antlers on the head and dancing around the campfire. Squirrel Sniper says, Colin Bloy, when are you coming out of that pub? Being a further approach to spiritual healing. That's a book. See if I can find it. You've mentioned him before because I have him up and I recognize the title. I'm just going down to the pub to do a few miracles. Says on Amazon, it's a reprint of a much sought after classic. Groundbreaking discoveries. Talks about archetypes, new chakras, Healing by Radio, Labyrinth of Consciousness. Um, I am much interested in archetypes. As a matter of fact, I brought a Milka, who likes doing the tarot cards, a archetypical tarot deck. Medic says, "What's a pub? Not seen one in years." I didn't think that was allowed in Great Britain. I thought there was a mandatory pub entrance. At least, what, 3, 4 days a week? Do the authorities know about this, Medic? Squirrel Semper says, in this book, it mentions a Chinese Catholic priest from Hong Kong. Interesting. I like that blending of tradition. That's why I was talking about the Hindu Jesuit priest. They just bring this Eastern spiritual tradition with a Western rationale. I'm glad you said that, Matt, because that reminds me to take my sleep herbal supplement. Destiny says, it was exactly an inspired moment. I shot away from the treadmill for over 20 years after seeing a horrible treadmill accident of my son. Well, about a year and a half ago, I stood up to that fear, and here I am. And you are certainly fearless on the treadmill. I like the videos you put up today. Destiny dancing in heels. You got to love those inspired moments. I'm happy to say much of my life has been lived with those inspired moments. From, in just a moment, becoming an ultra runner. Just reading a short passage in a book as I was standing in line, and I became an ultra runner. To not drinking anymore. It was an inspired moment. 25 years ago. Just having that sudden inspiration that I didn't ever have to have a drink again. Yeah, my entire life. How I met Mocha was an inspired. She came in both ends. She came into the store that I was working at. And I felt inspired to talk with her, not as a customer, but as, I don't know, I was going to say as a person, but I talk to everyone as a person, as something deeper. Squirrel Semper says, Medic, tell me about it. X-Bar hotel manager. Eric Point says, well, Destiny treadmill can be very dangerous. Glad you overcame that. Noble's here. Noble, how are you? Got a hello yogurt. Our friend Odom is here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Squirrel Semper says, Eric, have you heard the Eastern Foundation called Ling Sao? I haven't. Eric Lapointe says, I really need to stop drinking myself. For me, it had to be done because I was destroying myself. I had destroyed relationships. I destroyed cars. And I put people in danger. And I rationalized it, which is even worse. When I got serious about meditation, things began dropping out of my life without any effort. My diet changed, my workouts changed, how I approached relationships and my job. The last thing I was clinging to was drinking because I based my social life on drinking. I was always shy, solitary, And drinking brought me out of that. Drinking put me at the hub of social events, which of course was always a bar. Um, and so I didn't really have any desire to quit because I thought I was having fun. I wasn't. I was miserable. I thought I was popular. Um, but what a big deal, being popular in a bar. What does that get you other than drunk? Maybe a free drink. Score Sniper says Ling Sao translates to spiritual truth. I'm going to look that up. Destiny says, yes, I did, Eric Lapointe. Face your fear so you can move forward, and I did that. Yes, treadmills, like most anything, can be dangerous. You just have to step out in faith and trust the process. And Destiny will put her mistakes out there. She will put her occasional, not often, but occasional stumble, some bloopers. She tells the whole story with her dancing. That's the amazing thing. Telling the whole story, as well as when I watch it, I see divine energy being expressed. I literally see inspiration. Odom says, I got sick of waking up in jail. That'll do it. I narrowly escaped waking up in jail. Well, actually, I was in a holding cell, processing cell. But I didn't consciously try to quit drinking. I had an incident, and at the height of that incident, and I was still drunk, I had that sudden inspiration that if I wanted to, I never had to take a drink again. And for whatever reason, I said, okay. And I was done. I instantly became a non-drinker. I woke up that morning, I knew I was a non-drinker. I went home from work, I didn't go to a bar because I was a non-drinker. When I tried to go back to bars thinking I could still hang out and not drink, I realized that I was just a different person. It was like every cell in my body was replaced from a drinker to someone who didn't drink. Yeah, Odom, you've described before the person that you were when you were drinking, saying that you didn't like yourself. Hulk says, I stopped drinking almost a year now, and my body feels a lot better. Yeah, I bet. Definitely one of the best things I ever did. And I was a smoker at the same time I was an athlete. How much sense does that make? The things we do when we're younger, thinking that we can get away with it, of course, because we can when we're younger, but it catches up with you pretty quick. Noble says, love you, brother. I love you too, Noble. I had you up playing earlier today, several times actually. Hey, Noble, how far away from you from monetizing? Where are your watch hours, if you don't mind me asking? Because I can step up the playlist a bit. Dusty says it was a wonderful Mother's Day. What about your wife? I wish you a happy Mother's Day every day. That was nice. Dusty says hello to Noble. Odom says we had a good day. The girls came over and we cooked on the grill. That's good. Man, after what you went through with the storm, you deserve a good day. Scroll Sniper says the ancient Chinese believed that the creation of good energy attracts good underground water. And you know what? their entire medical system has basically uh, been proven correct, even by Western science. So I don't see why that wouldn't be true as well. Jesse says, awesome. Adam, family times are always the best times. Yes, they are. Eric Point says, interesting. Yeah, the whole interconnectionness of Chinese medicine uh, is absolutely amazing. It's the same with Ayurvedic system, where they see little sense in just treating a symptom. UK Medic is back, and Night Watcher is back. Um, treating a symptom without addressing the entire body, um, just even saying that makes no sense whatsoever. And yet, how often do doctors just hand out blood pressure medication, high cholesterol medication, medication for this, medication for that? And there's absolutely nothing the matter with medication. It's been a lifesaver. It was a lifesaver for my father for a long time. But start with the foundation, start with the basics, start with the interconnectionness, going all the way to the environment. In yoga, it's called the five koshas, which literally mean layers of the body. That we have what's called the food body, because we get our energy from food. Then we have the pranic body, which is the energy body. And then it just keeps expanding and expanding. We have the knowledge body, all the way to the bliss consciousness body, which is the last one. But it's all one body expressed in different energetic structures. So you can't be fully cured unless you heal all the way down. Score Sniper says it's all about intention. I agree. It's honestly, working with intention should be taught alongside of mathematics and science and art and every other class that we have. I mean, it's one of Destiny's favorite quotes, and it's in the Bible, as man thinketh, working with intention. Every school should offer that. How do we do it? I'm just reading in a book by James Dottie where he's talking about the art of manifestation. And as he says, you're manifesting all the time. The life that you have right now is through manifestation. If it's not the life that you want, it's because you haven't been properly manifesting. Your energy has been on the things that you don't want and not on the things that you do want. Odom says, only really damage besides losing a few plants was my outbuilding. Yes, a lot of work. I'm glad there wasn't serious damage that you couldn't recover from. And I'm glad it was only a few plants. Although I know for someone like Odom's homestead, even a few plants can be heartbreaking. Squirrel Sniper says, but not just the intent, but the energy of the vibration of the intent. Frequencies that physically change the water. Have you read Dr. Emoto's work with water? Eric Point says, I'm going to look this up, Squirrel Sniper. Also, prashad. I think I'm saying that right. It's a Vedic principle, preparing your food with love. The food that you're eating yourself, the food that you're serving others, because it is worked with intent. The intent of putting love into the food that you're serving towards others nourishes on every level of those five koshas. as if you just cook food and serve it, then it doesn't have those healing and loving, compassionate intent. Which is also important to be careful where you get your food from. Um, Man, if you could get food from someone like Odom, from someone like Kay Renee's Garden, from someone like Micro Farmer, who are literally in love with what they're doing, the intent of that love and that compassion, the joy that Odom puts into it, that's true nourishment. If you don't have that, it's just food. Food in and of itself serves a purpose, but it doesn't nourish you in the same way. That's the whole art of prashad. I should look that up too. Um, so I keep that in mind. I write quite a bit about oatmeal. Um, for one, because I love oatmeal. Um, but for two, it's my first meal of the day. It's after I've come back from my walk. I've already been up for about 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, and I do it very mindfully. I give thanks for the oats. I give thanks for the people who harvested the oats, for the people who packaged it, who drove the trucks to bring it to me. I give thanks for the blueberries, the walnuts, the flaxseed, everything that I put in my uh, oatmeal as it's being prepared. I give thanks and thanks and thanks. Oh, I'm starting to fall behind again. I haven't really fallen behind this conversation yet. Our friend Mayhem and Miracles, Masha, is here saying hello. Masha, hello, how are you, my friend? Odom says, trying to finish up writing my book. Don't know if I will publish it. You could self-publish it on Amazon, and you can do it free, actually, and have it available to friends and family members. I think even if you don't want to, like, a big market book, I think having something like that in the family is a beautiful thing, because the joy that you put into your homestead and your garden, why you do it, the whole story of it, something that your kids, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and on down the line, it's going to be there for them. Destiny says, exactly, 100%. We are manifesting all the time with our thoughts and with the words we speak out from our mouth. Yes, as a man thinketh, so he becomes. And most people don't realize what they think. They're never a witness to the thoughts. It's just happening. It's electrical impulses in the brain, a neurochemical process. Without, as Squirrel Sniper was saying, without intent behind it. If you read Carlos Castaneda, he talks about intent being a field, a force, like gravity. So you just need to tap into intent and let intent do the work. I use the example of a tomato seed, and I don't know why I always pick tomato as my example. There's intent in a tomato seed, and it's the intent of tomato. You will never get anything other from a tomato seed but a tomato plant and tomatoes. So you don't plant tomatoes and think, I'm going to get peppers, I'm going to get a pineapple, because you're not going to. You're working with the intent of the seed itself, and you're watering and you're nourishing. You do the work. Manifestation doesn't mean that you sit back and don't do anything. It means you work with the process. And you also learn to detach from the outcome. You don't plant a tomato seed and then 20 minutes later dig it up and look for the tomato, wondering if anything's happening. You trust the process. You trust in nature. You trust in God. So, hey, I thought I was caught up, but I'm not caught up. Squirrel Sniper says, Eric LaPointe, which brings my research to the ley lines, pathways of consciousness. I've always found the ley lines very interesting. Noble says, join the Discord, Yogi. I just set it up. If I can figure out how to do it, I will. I saw the announcement. That's pretty awesome. Squirrel Sample says, yes, the water holds memory too. Night Watcher says, Noble, I told him he ain't budging. If I were to do it for anyone in the world, it would be for my friend Noble. Odom says, I don't know if I want my kids or grandkids to see most of it's heartbreaking. I can understand that, but surviving the heartbreak, that's the inspiration. That's the wonderful thing. There was no guarantee that we would get the Odom's homestead that we have now. From, as you were saying, getting tired of waking up in jail, there was no guarantee that you would get tired of it. That you would have the life that you have now. And yet you did. There was some miracle. There was some, we can call it intent. We can call it the intent of God. Something planned for you. And now you have a life of joy. Not saying it's always easy, but if anyone who's gardening breaks out in a spontaneous song of worship, that is true joy of being alive. Destiny says, yes, a lot of people are not consciously aware of their thoughts and that the words that they are setting out from their mouths. You're a great teacher of that, Destiny. I've heard you remind people of that. Even, in the chats that we have, I've heard you remind people very lovingly, very kindly point out. It's almost an abuse of your gifts, an abuse of power, that if you speak ill of yourself, and so many people do. I'm always amazed because I talk a lot about forgiveness, a lot about kindness, and the hardest thing is for people to forgive themselves, to offer themselves kindness, to be compassionate for themselves. I did it. I'm completely caught up. It's the little things in life that I'm proud of. This is a great accomplishment for me, and it's the second time today. So, Noble has Discord. You guys should go join it. I don't know much about Discord. Our friend Night Watcher has done his best to explain it to me. That I used any technology at all is a wonder. Odom says, gardening will teach you patience. Yeah, I can see that. Noble says, that is sweet of you, Yogi. Here to support you, Noble. Oh, and if you get a chance, like I said, let me know about your watch hours. I can step up my game a bit. As mentioned, I have Yankee Kyle up. I've had him up all day. I've played some Ivy. I need to get some Dagmar on tomorrow. Jesse says, Odom, surviving the heartbreaks, and you kept getting back up to stay in the fight will be your legacy, left to your kids and grandchildren. Beautifully said. Squirrel Sniper says, Rupert Sheldrake's working the morphogenic field. Love Rupert Sheldrake from his books on, what was it, how dogs sense when you're coming home. And his son, Merlin Sheldrake, wrote a wonderful book on fungi and mushrooms. So let me get back to that. I interrupt myself. Rupert Sheldrake's work on morphogenic field revealed as to how species may communicate across vast distances in time. They have some archetypical influence over the rest of the species. I first read about that decades ago. The 100th monkey. There was islands off the coast of Japan that went through a major storm. Some of them were completely covered in sand. Others were left mainly untouched. The monkeys all survived on a certain type of sweet potato, grew wild there. And on one island where it was covered with sand, the monkeys started to wash the sand off. Literally taking it to a stream, washing it clean, and then eating the potato. When it reached a critical mass of monkeys doing that, every monkey on the island started doing it, regardless if they needed to do it or not. Which you could say, well, one person or one monkey saw the other monkey, saw another monkey, and it kept going. Explainable. Islands that were untouched by the storm, no communication between those monkeys at all, those monkeys started doing it as well. And they called it the 100th monkey because that was the number they assigned to the critical mass. It is the same as the Maharishi effect, named after Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, founder of Transcendental Meditation. The meditation that I teach is derivative of, all of it's derivative from ancient Vedic yogic meditation. But it's based on the Maharishi effect. If one person in a household meditates, the entire family gets benefits from that meditation because of the energy field of peacefulness, ahimsa, as it's called in yoga. Eric LaPointe says, I wrote all this down, Scroll Sniper. I'm going to take a look. If you go on Amazon, Eric, all of Rupert Sheldrake's books are available. He wrote a great book, The Physics of Angels, using quantum physics as to explain the energetic structure of angels. Scroll Sniper, have you read Erzin Lazo? He wrote a great book on the Akashic fields. Destiny says, Eric, I have to go now, but I will catch you later. Thanks for everything. Blessings and love to you and Chad. Good night, everyone. Good night, Destiny. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate your company, our conversations, your inspiration. Yeah, Scroll Sniper has some great book suggestions, and is always dropping great information that can send me down the rabbit hole. So it's been a while since I've explored Reiki, and UK Medic has me thinking about that now. I'm going to have to dig out some of my books. I have several courses here that I can review anytime that I did in Reiki. So I need to review that again. It'd be nice to do, would actually be nice to do Reiki work on a live chat, just as we're talking. And we can do that, talking with Scroll Sniper and talking with Destiny with intent. Every live chat we do, or I mentioned the Prashad. Look that up. Prasad is a Sanskrit word that means favor or grace. It can also refer to food and water offered to a deity during worship in Hinduism, or to anything offered to a deity or saint that isn't then distributed. It is then distributed to their followers. So it's actually straight from the Bhagavad Gita, where they say that um, you have the right to your actions, but not the fruit of your actions. That you surrender. You surrender that to God. So everything that you give thanks for is in spirit, offering a thankfulness to God, because it was God who moved through all things to get that bowl of oatmeal for me every morning, every blueberry, every oat, every walnut. Everything had to work through that grace. Favor. I love the word favor. Not as in I will do a favor for you, but that everything is a favor. Think about trees. Think about the favor that trees give us every single day, that they are literally acting as an outer set of lungs, doing us the favor of cleansing the atmosphere. And boy, do they have their work cut out for them nowadays. We should all be offering a little prayer for the work that they do. In return, we do a favor for the trees, releasing our breath. Releasing, it's the CO2, right? Night Watcher says, for the record, I'm listening while drawing. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. So when we're cooking, when we're preparing food, prepare it as if you are serving God. Because in essence you are. But here's the grace of God. Here's the favor of God. God doesn't eat. God says, you prepared it with such love, such grace, such a huge favor. Please, you take it. And then we are literally feasting on love. No matter what the meal is. It could be a piece of toast. And for those who know me, I absolutely love toast. It's got to be the right kind of toast. Ezekiel bread. Let's see. Night Watcher says, so want to hear the Cobra theory and how I got its name? Well, I'm going to be talking probably for about 8 more minutes. And I enjoy your stories, but as you and I both know, I never do it justice when I read it out loud. So if you would, I know you like typing. If you would like to type it, I will read it, but I probably won't read it out loud. But it will be on here, so that way other people can read it as well. I've never seen a cobra, but cobras are a snake that I've jumped over rattlesnakes before, trail running. As a matter of fact, my very last race I did, I jumped over a rattlesnake with a friend of mine. And I can't say that I admire snakes, all creatures that are just so adapt to their environment. But cobras are scary. I didn't realize how fast they are. Squirrel Simple says, boil any vegetables that's been under the ground from cold water, never straight in boil. Huh, I never considered that. What's the principle behind that, Squirrel Sniper? Squirrel Sniper says, you don't keep, or I'm sorry, Night Watcher, you don't keep live chat replay, sadly. How do I do that? I would, if that's something that even one person, if that's something that you wanted, and I know how to do it, I certainly would do it for you. I do, all the live chats are saved, but of course you got to listen to the whole thing, I guess. man, you guys have the patience to bear with me. Once, I would never ask someone to do it twice. So yeah, I love that thought of prasad, of um, food as an offering. Most especially, yes, when you're cooking for yourself, but when you're cooking for other people, that you literally have your mind steeped in love and you're offering it. You're doing the favor. I think about, I stopped eating things my mom prepared as my diet changed in my teen years. I headed in that bodybuilding direction. Um, so I started cooking my own meals at a very young age. In some sense, I sort of regret that because my mom really did love cooking and she was a great cook. I think in retrospect that probably hurt her that I did that. Um, so, yeah, I feel like we covered a whole lot of ground here this evening. As always, just gained so much information from people like Squirrel Sniper, from people like Night Watcher, who um, knows about cobras and how they got their name. Squirrel Sniper says it retains most, if not all, the vitamins. Putting them in boiling water, vitamin depletion will arise. That makes sense. Interesting. Masha says, have a great stream, Yogi. Thank you, Masha. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the replays a lot. I'm inching closer and closer. I see, for a long time, you look at that little graph and nothing's changing, nothing's changing, nothing's changing. I now see it moving. And I see it moving, and as I mentioned before, it's only showing data up to May 9th. So I'm real close to the 3,000 mark. Let's see. Night Watcher says, Yogi, I heard you fell recently. Can you tell the story? Did I fall recently? I slipped on ice. That was in March. Wrenched my knee, hurt my wrist. My back was already hurt. Boy, I sound like a mess. I'm actually doing remarkably well for being a mess. Masha says, you're welcome. Squirrel Sipper says, nutritional addition and not depletion. Yeah, that makes sense. Masha says, wasn't feeling well today, so just relax. Yep, I looked for you live and didn't see you. I hope you're feeling better. Definitely hope you're feeling better by the morning. Sometimes a good night's sleep definitely feels like it performs a miracle. Eric Point says, yes, it was another great live. Don't forget to hit the like. I appreciate that. And to return the favor, go check out the cows. Go check out the holy cows. Eric Lapointe has a really cool cow video. Well, I say that. I don't think there's an uncool cow video. But I really like Eric, and I have it up. It acts as a, not as a screensaver, but as a peace saver. I have it here, and I look at it when I feel the need to connect with cow energy. Cow energy is the energy of peacefulness. Masha says, thank you, still feel fatigued. Well, hopefully a good night's sleep, and that's what's going to do it. Put you right back to your normal energy. Night Watcher says, well, I have to head off. See you, Yogi. Hope to get the 5 a.m. reading. Thank you. I always appreciate you being there. Squirrel Sniper says, if you need B12, the warmed orange juice and teaspoon of brewer's yeast. I remember the brewer's yeast. I haven't heard the orange juice, though. Will get absorbed with the acid. That's not going to come out. But yeah, that makes sense. And of course, you know, as a vegan, the one concern that you really have, people always talk about protein. You always get enough protein. If you're eating the calories, you're getting enough protein. B12, however, and it's not just a vegan condition, because of the depletion of soil of nutrients, and a lot of people have issues absorbing B12. So it's across the board. But since it is a bit harder as a vegan to get the B12. Masha says, yes, thank you. Squirrel Sniper says, we are taught to be the man, to be the woman, to be the very actor that makes every place a stage and every observer an audience. Take care. Good night, all. Good night, Squirrel Sniper. Masha, Night Watcher, Eric Lapointe. Thank you for being here. Always appreciate you being here. Our friend Destiny Forever Walks PhD. Goldie was here. Always appreciate Goldie being here as well. Odom, thank you. Noble, thank you. IFNHU was here. Appreciate him stopping by. I forget the person's name who came by and said something strange and then left. But hey, even them, you know. Hawk, I'm really glad Hawk stopped by because I was no longer getting updates. Fortunately, we're Facebook friends and it reminded me to check him out. And that was part of my plan. But hey, he stopped by. Must have sensed it in the field. UK Medic, always appreciate him being here as well. And I think that has everyone covered who has, oh, man, how could I forget? Mocha McCarty. Thank you, Mocha, as always. I'm going to see everyone. Hey, if you got nothing to do at 5 a.m., come on by. I'm going to read from the Bhagavad Gita. I'll see you guys later. Baby emoji, says Squirrel Sniper. Yep. Even him. Erica Point says, high five, Mocha. I'm going to try to get one tomorrow when we're taking our walk. I'm going to say, do this one for Eric Lapointe and see if I get one. I will show her the cow video. Maybe that will inspire. It'll fill her heart with the goodness of cows. She'll have no choice but to high-five me. After 23 years of waiting. I think it's the cows that can finally do the trick. Guys, thank you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.